Hello, everybody, and welcome to Wofford College here in Spartanburg, South Carolina. Hard to believe, but it's show number 1 of Inside Wofford Football with head coach Shawn Watson. I'm Jim Noble, and Coach, it's that time. Well, welcome back. It's been a while, hasn't it?
It's been a little bit. It's good to be back, though. It's good to be back playing ball.
Absolutely. Well, it's funny, we'll take a look back a little bit. Last time when we did the last show back in November of last season, we didn't know who'd be sitting in this chair. You were the interim head coach. We had talked to you a bit about it, but it became very obvious that you wanted this. You wanted to be here for your student athletes, for your coaches, and very quickly the school wanted Shawn Watson. 9 or 10 months later, you look back at that time, and how bad did you want to be here?
Well, I obviously wanted to be here because of the relationship with the kids. We had, from really day one, I just really embraced them. They're unique. They're a great group of guys, and we had a nice 7 weeks there that we found our way to and through a lot of stuff, and we even grew tighter, and so it was an honor to have the opportunity to be the head coach.
Well, fast forward 9 or 10 months, and we're right in the thick of things. When we come back, we'll take a look back at the opener at Pittsburgh. We will introduce you to a Terrier freshman who made a big statement in one of his first plays in college football, and we will look ahead to another big out-of-conference matchup coming up this weekend against William and Mary, so stay tuned. Inside Wofford Football rolls on right after this.
You can always count on the crisp, refreshing taste of Bud Light, just like you can always count on Always Game Gary. No bar is too far. No wing sauce is too hot. Not for Gary. Gary is the man. He's nothing like Keith. Keith never wants to do anything. Why are we even talking about Keith? Always Game Gary is famous among friends. He deserves a Bud Light. Enjoy responsibly. Bud Light Beer, AB St. Louis, Missouri.
Welcome back, everybody. So we knew it would be a tough test for the Terriers as they opened the season at Pittsburgh. Not just at Pittsburgh, but a Pitt Panther team picked by many to contend for an ACC championship, a team that you're very familiar with. Spent a couple of years up there as offensive coordinator under Pat Narduzzi. We didn't expect them to do anything that would surprise you a great deal. They went out and played smash mouth, two-fisted football, and you guys were expecting that, weren't you?
We were, and they've done an excellent job over the last couple of years just of doing just that. Both sides of the ball. They're an excellent defense and an excellent offense because they're going to run the ball first and then take play action shots on you because you have to stop the run.
Yeah. As things started out, Pitt got the ball first, or rather Pitt kicked off to Wofford. I know early on they were coming at you. They were bringing 5-6 players. The offensive line, Bryce Corriston, kind of running for their life the first couple of series. Was that just kind of the assimilation process? That was the first snap of the season, and man, they pinned their ears back and were coming.
No, they had us backed up too. So that's the Sikkim territory, and they got after us in that first series. To begin to create field position, which helps out, obviously, the offense.
On the flip side, I thought your defense hung in there the first couple of series. It was a scoreless game midway through the first quarter. It was only 7-0 through 1. A lot of your defensive guys looked like they belonged on the same field. I know David Powers was in everything, and Brandon Maynard was getting a lot of pressure on their quarterback. What did you feel about the defensive effort in the first half?
I thought they did a really nice job. They came out and they played really hard. They swarmed to the football. I got to see our new defensive package. There were multiple, and they created a lot of havoc. And as you said, both Brandon and David in particular did a great job.
Yeah, and like I said, also only 7-0 after one quarter. Then you get the only turnover of the game, the only giveaway, kind of a miscommunication on a handoff. Pitt takes it in from there, and then the floodgates sort of opened. They were able to impose their will. The remainder of the first half, you, the coaches, with players? What was the talk on the sideline about how that first half was transpiring?
It's just, it's about us always. Meaning that we have to take care of our business. So we had a lot of young guys, getting their first time, really in a start, and or a young guy getting his first time in college football.
Yeah.
So you have to go through all those, all those growing pains. I think, just looking at it, we had some young guys that really, after they got comfortable, they really stepped up. So, it's that's why you look forward to the second week.
And important, as we pointed out on the game broadcast, Wofford without a number of offensive linemen. There's been some injuries, there's been some illness, and don't know exactly when some of those stalwarts are going to be back. Maybe week 2, week 3, week 4. We'll have to see how that transpires. But that adds to it, and it's not just physical talent on the offensive line; it's communication as well.
No, it is. That group has to have the most continuity. So we haven't had the same for the same 5 guys for more than 4 days in training camp because of, we just got hit by sickness, and then we're already coming back from injuries, so that really depleted our numbers, and we just had to. You got to put your big boy pants on. You got to keep going to work. And, I've learned, great teacher, Gary Barnett, out of all your adversity comes, something really good. And there'll be something really good as our season progresses that comes from those younger guys having to play now.
Well, there were some bright spots in the second half. We'll get to that. It was 28-0 Pitt at halftime. But when we come back, half number 2 from Pitt next here on Inside Wofford Football.
Think big. Something life-changing. I'm talking education. Let's get inventive. Blow things up in a good way. Do it for 20 years? Wake up and education has received billions in funding. Who does all this? If you've ever played one of these or these, that would be you. Yeah, thank you.
And welcome back to Inside Wofford Football with head coach Shawn Watson. I'm Jim Noble. All right, 28-0 at Pitt at halftime. Wofford comes out for the third quarter. One of the bright spots, I thought, special teams. Pretty solid on both sides of the return game and the punting game. And Atkins Roberts knocks out a couple of long ones. Coffin corners Pitt, puts him back on the 5, and then a 68-yarder, the 4th longest punt in school history. Atkins Robert was named SoCon Special Teams Player of the Week. That had to be nice to see from a coaching standpoint.
Yeah, he's had a great camp for us. He's really perfecting his craft. I mean, that kicking obviously is a skill, and he's really perfected all the kicks. He can back balls up, he can kick balls out, and he's really gained in his leg strength, and he's had a really good camp for us, and just went right into the game and did the same thing. So it was kind of what we had seen in practice. I'm really proud of him and all of his hard work.
Pitt kept their starters in through most of the third quarter, but when they put their 2s in and their backup quarterback, I know we had one busted coverage, but I thought all in all, in the trenches, physically, all of a sudden the game seemed a lot more even. And our players know that they could play with, big-time FBS scholarship players. How did you feel once things were a bit more of an even keel, how both sides of the ball performed?
We, like you're saying, we had, the first half was about settling really us down offensively. I thought the defense did a great, they did a really good job. They would, they were playing hard, and, offensively we had to settle down a bunch of the young guys that were in the offensive line especially. So as the game wore on, I think everybody got more comfortable with their surroundings and, felt like they belonged a little bit more.
Bryce Corriston at quarterback, considering the duress he was under pretty much the entire game, how did the senior perform?
He played really well. He did an excellent job of managing us. He managed me, meaning what? He got us into some, plays that we needed to get, or got us out of some plays, the best way to put it, that we needed to get out of, and got us into some better plays, and then did a good job overall in his decision making.
Yeah. And then, of course, Bryce, late in the game, Wofford still hadn't scored. You never want to be shut out. And thanks to a senior quarterback and a freshman wide receiver, the Terriers broke through.
Fakes the handoff to Parsons. Parsons goes deep down the middle, and it's complete. Breaking a tackle. He may go all the way. Look at this. Touchdown, Terriers. How about that? Tyler Parker, the freshman from Tipton, Georgia, 75 yards.
Throw it up. That's the fight of a terrier, y'all. You never give up.
All right, kind of like birdieing 18 after a tough round of golf. Tyler Parker, hey, you know what? He made the play. You don't get shut out, and you kind of go into the locker room with a little lift after that, don't you?
Yeah, Tyler. Tyler's had. He's had a really good camp for a freshman. We've got he and JT Smith on our side of the ball have done an excellent job, and to see him make that play. With that kind of competition was really nice to see, because I think he can give us what Landon gave us last year. He can be that type of receiver. He's got to be, continue to grow, become more consistent, which all young players have to. But I think he's got that big playability in him, because you just saw natural instincts take over.
All right, when we come back, we will talk to Tyler Parker about his first collegiate touchdown. We'll also look forward to another big game this Saturday on the road as Wofford travels to William & Mary. That's all coming up next.
Black and gold. Bold. A victory story about to be told. Grit, toughness, and tenacity. A hub of hard work in Hub City. We're on these wins like dogs on a bone. In the zone. Our place, in your face. Won't leave you alone. Strength, speed, fire, true. I'm sorry. Do these things trouble you? We're Wofford College. We fly the W. Ingalls, proud partner of the Wofford Terriers.
Nothing beats the power of Ford Truck Month, because only one truck can be the best-selling in America for 46 straight years. Ford F-Series. Only one has best-in-class payload, best-in-class horsepower, and when you combine this legendary power with the latest technology, you get the only truck built Ford tough. It's Truck Month. Hurry in today for great selection in stock and ready for delivery. For great offers on a new Ford F-150, see your Carolina Ford dealer or visit buyfordnow.com today.
And welcome back to Inside Wofford Football with Shawn Watson, brought to you by Yokohama and Budweiser of Spartanburg. Well, you've seen the play, now meet the man. Freshman Tyler Parker, his first collegiate touchdown, 75-yard bomb for Bryce Corriston to end the game versus Pitt. Let's talk a little bit more with the freshman from Tipton, Georgia. What was the reaction like after the game when people are texting you, calling you, your family's probably going crazy? What was all that like after the Pitt game?
It was just very exciting. Like, my first college play, first college touch was a 75-yard touchdown. So, my phone was blowing up. All my friends and family back home was excited for me. My mom was there. She waited the whole game to see that. So she drove up 13 hours to see that. So I just had to put on for her. It just made me feel good about myself. Made it feel good to put on for my family.
That's awesome. Take us through the play. There's a $1:20 left in the game. Yeah, they want the shutout. What was the play call? What did you see and how did it develop?
Well, it was supposed to be a glance route, but he came down in man, so I was supposed to convert it. So I seen him come down. I converted my route. And before I even went out on the field, Coach TC was like, just go score. And so I took that to the heart. I went and scored. I was like, I gotta do something, get on that field some more.
As the ball's in the air, you got to adjust to it a little bit, and then they're grabbing and clawing at you. Were you thinking, maybe there'll be a flag? What's going through your mind at that point?
No, because the ball's in the air, so we both fighting for position. So I'm like, see ball, get ball. It's just whoever weight room. You just gotta get in that weight room if you want that ball. So yeah, I seen it. I had to get it. I made my that was my moment to shine, and I took advantage of it.
What kind of lift does this give you? What kind of lift does this give the team as you head into game number 2?
Well, it gives me a very good positive lift, because like I said, my first college touch was a 75-yard touchdown. So it got me feeling good with myself. Like, I could compete with the best, and then I feel like it's gonna boost the team morale. They're gonna put a lot more trust in me, put me in some more, and I feel like I'm gonna do whatever they need me to do.
Oh, fun to see freshmen stepping up at all times. Now it's be just fun to see anybody else step up. Who will be next? William & Mary on the docket for Saturday night. Good team. Preseason pick to win the CAA. big, physical, by FCS standards, maybe not unlike the Pitt team that you face in terms of scheme and philosophy. What do you expect to see from the Tribe Saturday night?
Well, Mike's been there, got his program really rolling. They were too deep into the playoffs last year, 2 rounds in. And, he's got several of the players back, both offensively and defensively. So he's not going to change, nor should they, because they do an excellent job on both sides of the ball. So they're a big, like you just said, they're a big physical team. They do some things uniquely different on both sides of the ball that make you have to playing differently. So, it's going to be a challenge, because they're going to have a veteran group playing with confidence. And, there were a lot of guys that, were significant players back. So it'll be a good test.
That may be a theme this year, an experienced team against a bunch of young and hungry Terriers. They're great games from our standpoint. Probably give coaches a little gray hair, broadcasters too, but that's going to be the theme a lot of times for the Terriers this season. Thanks again for your time. Can't wait to see you up the road in Virginia, and we'll do this every Monday.
All right. Sounds good.
All right. For head coach Shawn Watson, I'm Jim Noble. As always, thanks for watching Inside Wofford Football, and we'll catch you next week.